Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the uh, All Star Wrestling Review Series. In this case, for the 19th of December 2000, or yeah, sure, 1981, 40 years ago almost here. Obviously, we are closing out the year 81. We got 8 shows or so available in 82. Then we're moving on to Mid Atlantic Wrestling. But we open with Rick Martel and Tony Gurria defeating Johnny Roz and Jose Estrada. Amazing to me how many times you can see the same television match in a span of a year, especially during that time period. People criticize wrestling for being overbooked and overdone here, but certainly a big deal there, even back here. Um, Obviously, you're not going to get anybody really get going in that general direction, but needless to say, kind of getting some basic stuff out of the way and continuing to be uh, some pretty hard, brawling and the like. Basic stuff along the way here. And again, Martel and Gurria, your multi-time tag team champions in the past, continuing to be a pretty big deal here at the time. And you could probably, depending on the house show, line them up for house show authority and pretty well get them to be a pretty major house show tandem going forward here. Um, Gurria taking a good bit of the early punishment. Roz and Estrada have worked together before, working over the wrist lock and kind of working a wrist lock for several minutes on Gurria. Gurria taking the majority of the early part of the match. Martel comes in and tries to fire up a little bit, gets some fire up, not exactly as much as he would want, but gets a good bit, enough to keep things going back in his general direction there. And we again see Jose Estrada coming in, trying to cut the ring off. Martel comes in, does a good bit of selling, finally gets a tag, and again we see Gurria leading his team to victory here. Jesse Ventura up next, and with Freddie Blassie defeating Curt Hennig via submission 6:04 with the backbreaker. To think that Curt Hennig was in the ring with Jesse Ventura, most people would not know that because of the history, and Ventura being mainly retired, almost completely retired, not fully, but almost completely by the expansion era. Ventura works over the arm of his adversary for a couple of minutes. Hennig had been throughout 81 pretty impressive guy from the standpoint of things. Freddie Blassie in the powder blue suit. Hennig goes to the outside. Hennig hits a couple of hard shots on Jesse Ventura. Ventura not exactly selling to the best of his ability, but trying to anyway. Ventura sends Hennig to the outside, and don't know that they necessarily needed 6 full minutes. Ventura gets a body slam and a couple of maneuvers. Then Ventura, who claims to have been the bodyguard for the Rolling Stones, promises to beat Bob Backlund for the championship, promises to be a world champion someday. He is a bigger deal in his mind anyway, since than most of the talent in the area. Then Freddie Blassie returns, this time with Adrian Adonis. Maybe that's where the tag team of Adonis and Ventura first connected, even though their majority of their good run was in the AWA. Anyway, Adonis cranks up on the arm of his adversary, which in this case happens to be Steve King. King, obviously a multi-time enhancement talent here for the area and continues to be that here. Adonis doesn't need a whole lot of time, probably about less than 5 minutes. Adonis does have, for his size and I guess you'd say focal point, running there, kind of running forward and running through. getting what he wants out of things there, and ultimately leading to a continuation of the Goodnight Irene. Adonis finally getting the victory that way. Mr. Fuji and Mr. Saito defeating Dominic DeNucci and Barry Hart. I feel like DeNucci is used when they don't know what else to do with him, and also to kind of give newer talent or talent that isn't getting over to the way that Vincent J. McMahon wants them to a little extra credibility. DeNucci, of course, a major star throughout both Australia and internationally, other international places throughout the run here. Saito and DeNucci have squared off before. Other tag team partners for DeNucci here. Takedowns and kickoffs and other basic things there. And again, hard shots as we go through. Hard shots, and we see the chokeouts attempted by Saito, managing the backbreaker and other such basic things. Hard shots by Fuji. Fuji also managing some, shots to the back and other such things by his adversary here, and stomps in, does Soto on DeNucci's partner. Obviously, Lou Albano happy with the aggression of his tag team here, and of course the champions pick up yet another victory. But DeNucci never really takes a full backward step from them, so they can continue the match in the future, or the feud more accurately in the future. Tony Atlas against Jeff Carney, and that again is another relatively one-sided affair, as Atlas has the power and the pizzazz and the aggression to get things going there. There's about 4 minutes left in the TV program, so not a whole lot here. Atlas sends his man back into the corner. The enhancement talent sends out attempts at trying to do things the right way, go behind, side headlocks, and other basic wrestling maneuvers by Atlas. Atlas eventually gets things going and manages a big press slam and a win for Tony Atlas as we continue to move forward from here. We'll be back right after this.